Hi guys, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. If you like my videos, please press the like button and please do subscribe. Now, today is Friday. It's Friday morning and I've managed to get myself up. Alexa, what's the time please?
It's 8:46 a.m.
Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. Today is the start of British Science Week, a 10-day celebration of science, technology, engineering and maths. I'm a nerd who loves science so much that I wrote a rap about it. Just say, rap about science.
Alexa, rap about science.
It's not just my obsession, it's more than a reliance. We owe an awful lot to a little thing called science. Geology rocks, tectonics and sediments. Chemistry formulates with all of the elements. Engineering builds the world that we need. Technology's devices help us succeed. Astronomy looks to the cosmos and galaxy. Physics knows matter, motion and gravity. Biology examines all cell-based life. Medicine saves us from sickness and strife. Most things seem used from pens to appliances. Call for a taste to one of the sciences.
That woke me up this morning. I can tell you, she's got very good talents as Alexa. Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Friday the 10th of March.
Alexa, what's the weather like?
Right now in Rochester, it's 4 degrees Celsius with showers. Throughout the day, you can expect more of the same, with a high of 4 degrees and a low of -1 degrees. By the way, there's a flood alert in effect.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke? Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
What cheese can we live in? Cottage cheese.
And finally, Alexa, whose birthday is it today?
Today's famous birthdays include American blogger, co-founder of Twitter Biz Stone, actor John Hamm, American actress Olivia Wilde, American music producer Rick Rubin, and American martial artist, actor, film producer and screenwriter Chuck Norris.
Right guys, it's Friday and every weekend I get prepared for noise. It's been going on since I've lived here. Every weekend, sometimes I get a respite from it one weekend, sometimes I don't. And obviously when there's a 6-week break, I can have noise continuously. So I've been told that I need I've got high cholesterol, I need to sort that out, and a lot of the illnesses and ailments I get are due to stress, like, getting angry. Not angry as in yelling and shouting, but like getting stressed up, bottling it all in. So that's cheered me up Friday morning, the science rap, and I shall try and do things that make me feel good. Last weekend I coped with just focusing on the TV set. So when there was a horrendous load of noise going on, I would put the TV set on. It wasn't too bad last weekend, to be honest. There were bits like in the middle of the night when I got woken up, but that's kids for you. Kids, you can't expect kids to stay still. As I've said many times before, the faults are already showing with this flat. It's cheap and it's tacky and bits are falling apart and there's no soundproofing and it shows. And my bedroom leads on to the front of the building, right near the communal door entrance, right near the bin. So every time the bin shuts, bang, bang, bang. Every time someone goes out of the communal door, And of course people congregate by doors, don't they? So right when I'm in bed you can hear people talking. If they're coming back at 3, 4, 5, whatever in the morning, you can hear them walking past the window and you can hear the door go and them clobbering up the stairs because the lift is yet again broken. The lift is broken again. Now how long was that lift actually in use? 2, 3 days? It's broken again. And you know what? His kids come to stay at the weekends and they're large kids, they're heavy kids. And of course they've got to climb up the stairs. And why is this lift breaking every 5 minutes? Right? I should be writing a long email to Hyde Housing because I took this flat because it had a lift. My other flat did not have a lift. And I thought, great, I'm moving into a new build flat with completely new, and it's got a lift. And it's broken down again. It's not on. I'm not saying it's Hyde Housing's fault, but Jackson's lifts have not fixed it properly, have they? So they're going to have to confer with Hyde Housing, are going to have to confer with Jackson's lifts to get that lift sorted, because I took this flat thinking that I would have access to a lift. And there are disabled children in this property. It's disgusting it keeps breaking down every 5 minutes. They're obviously not seeing what's properly wrong with the lift. They're temporarily fixing it and then it's breaking. What if you get stuck in there? Be frightening, wouldn't it? It's like a box. Right. Last night I took Max out for a walk around the field and there was a jogger about, a bearded jogger in a red t-shirt and black shorts, and he was coughing behind my back. And last night I'm suffering from, I'm going through the change, women in their 50s and sometimes earlier, later, go through the change, and I was feeling dizzy and faint. And I might have caught a cold as well because all my eyes are red and my nose is running and I've got like a sore head, like a cold. So I'm slowly walking, minding my own business down the path, and again, joggers coughing right behind my back. I didn't fall over, I managed to stay straight, and I walked onto the field, walked around it, came back. Yeah, jogging in the rain. Bearded bloke jogging in the rain, bright red t-shirt, black shorts, jogging in the rain. Walked home, and that's when I noticed the lift wasn't working. Walked up the stairs with Max, got into my flat, and yeah, I had been feeling dizzy. Dizzy sat down, dizzy led down, dizzy walking. I've got a doctor's appointment for later on in the month, so I'm not too concerned about that. I've had it before. Of course, if you've got ear problems, it can affect your balance. So maybe I've got an ear infection or something, because that can make you off balance if you've got an ear infection. I don't know what it is, but I keep feeling dizzy. So I did what I normally do last night, and that's so I sit down, I relax, cut everything off, cut the phones off, cut everything off that stresses me, and I put the TV on. And I put 999 calls were on, like police, fire, ambulance. And it was all about army, blokes in the army, men, because they didn't show any women. suffering from PTSD, but I'm sure there are women soldiers that suffer PTSD as well as male soldiers. But it was concentrating on male soldiers coming out of the army and trying to go back to civilian life, and they were suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. And this one lad, right, ginger-haired lad, bright ginger hair, in his 20s, he just punched a 64-year-old man onto the floor. I think he was a bit older than that. I think he was in his 70s. It was even worse. He just struck this elderly man while he was on a drunken night out. He just walked up to this elderly man and knocked him to the floor, assaulted him physically. And he was taken into police custody. Army bloke. And then we had another ex-army guy that had crooked front teeth, oldish guy, and he was in the police station, and he was in there for keep ringing 999 the police. Apparently this guy kept ringing 999 all the time, ex-army bloke suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and he was in custody, and he was going, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, and the officers were trying to calm him down. The ginger-haired guy was using very, very foul language, and he was very, very nasty, and he struck this old age pensioner, and they said it's disgusting. The female custody officers were absolutely disgusted, saying this poor old bloke, he goes out to the pub, he's got nobody, and then he goes out and gets beaten up by a young lad. So I watched that before I went to bed, and I turned it off about 3/4 of the way through watching it because I was tired. Got up this morning, fed the cats, fed Max, and I've jumped into the shower because my eyes were stinging. I feel like I've got a cold coming on, so I thought if I jump into the shower it'll make me feel better. So I've jumped into the shower for 5 minutes because I can't afford to keep it on for hours. Quick in and out of the shower, and I feel refreshed, and I've made myself a cup of coffee, and of course, like I said, I live by myself. I'm a woman that lives by myself, and when you've got company, noise, you don't notice it so much, do you, when you're talking to somebody? I notice it when I'm around my mum's. I mean, I don't feel all these ailments that I do in this property. I don't. When I'm sitting around my mum's, and I don't feel all these pains. It's very stressful living here. I'm on my own, and it's like a big cage. It's like a prison. There's locks everywhere. You're just locked inside with no company. I've got my dog, don't get me wrong, I love my dog. I never wanted my life to turn out this way, and I don't think anybody does. I was married. I had 3 lovely kids, and it all went down the pan. And when you're in your teens and 20s, if you could see into the future, I'm sure you would be able to change things, but I couldn't. So I've ended up by myself with a sour, bitter ex-husband who I think wants to get me back all the time for me leaving him. That's what I think. So I'm forever punished and kept in this cage. Also, I'm a truth teller, and I think that people don't like you telling the truth, so they try to hide it. And if they think they ignore you and make out you don't exist, it makes them feel better, and that secret that they've been keeping will never come out. And that's what they've been doing to me for years. So they've actually been doing that to me for years, like keeping me in this cage. Someone said it to me. I don't know whether it was one of my workers or someone that just came to visit years ago. They said, Crystal, you're in a bird cage. You need to get out. But somebody that suffered from what I've suffered from, which is severe sexual abuse, severe, used by men, and in some cases I think I've been sexually tortured as a kid, as a child. It's very, very, very hard to maintain a normal life when you're scared of, in quotes, people. Because I've said many times before, I've not been able to trust anybody. Everybody's let me down. Teachers, social workers when I was a kid, when me and my sister were left without gas and electricity, and they brought us round a small gas stove. And they saw how poor we were, and we were left without carpet as kids, without heating and electricity, and it was disgusting, and we were just left, always being ignored, always being not noticed, always being punished for something we hadn't done. Me and my sister as kids. My sister died at 36. She had no life at all. She died of multiple sclerosis. I think it's disgusting the way me and my sister, and of course my brother didn't make it to 3 months old. It's disgusting how the failings of the social services back in the 70s and 80s, and the police force again in the 70s and 80s, that failed to respond properly to 999 phone calls. And social services coming round, whether they were real social services or bogus, seeing the state of how me and my mum were living and the abuse we were suffering from my dad, who was neglecting all of us and abusing all of us. It was just disgusting. And why would you still want to cover it up? Why would you still want to carry on covering up? Why would you still want me to live in substandard conditions? Why would you still want me to live like it now, when my father died 2 years ago? My mother and I are still living like we were, because it feels like they are carrying on, caging both me and my mum. So, but why? If my dad's dead, and he was the one that was the root cause of the abuse, why won't they let me and my mother have freedom? Freedom! We're not objects of laughter. We're not objects to be tortured. It's not funny. My father was the one that should have been punished, and yet he's dead. And it's like me and my mum are still objects of fun for people to abuse and laugh at. And it's not funny. Child abuse is not funny. Abusing the elderly is not funny. Children attacking adults is not funny either. Giving children the power, because you can't punish them, so that some kids, as they especially get older, in their late teens, hit and abuse their parents. And how shameful and embarrassing it is for a parent to have to say that their child or children are abusing them. should be able to speak, should be able to let other people know that these things do happen, that it's not embarrassing, it's not shameful, and that we should all be able to talk about it. I mean, I don't want to keep going on about the royal family, but every time there's a crisis, bring in a bit of glamour of royal family, and it was true when Diana was alive as well, bring in a bit of royal glamour. Let's hide what's really going on in the world and put someone really pretty on the screen, glamorous, or a royal baby, or a wedding, or something to distract us all from what's really going on in this world, which is poverty, extreme poverty, cruelty, in some cases torture. How many elderly, lonely people are segregated from the world on their own, and people, they end up dying because they don't know how to, they're worried about heating their homes. You know, there's some young people today see an elderly person and they're shocked. They're shocked. What is that? They don't think that they're going to get old, and they will, and look like that eventually. I mean, I'm getting on for my middle 50s. And I'm shocked at how things in my body and my mind are changing. And when Mystic Meg died yesterday, I'd grown up with Mystic Meg. When I married my ex-husband, Mystic Meg was in the newspaper doing the astrology, and now she's dead. And then the pop stars that I knew in the 80s, they're going to get old and die. And it's like, part of you dies, you know. Part of you dies and you can't get it back. So guys, I'm going to do another video where I should do my daily crossword and get on with the rest of my day. But you can't keep hiding things under the carpet, and people that have been abused deserve compensation. See you later.